The first time I did it, we realized I couldn't do it without screaming, but screaming in a way that wasn't gonna be appropriate for the movie.
I've created mankind's most advanced AI soldier.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
The timing could not be more relevant for the topic of AI. How much have this movie and your character changed your attitude or understanding about AI?
Certainly what happens in the course of the film and in this story line is kind of a manifestation of everything that we are most concerned about in terms of the state of the world and the impact that AI can potentially have or is already starting to happen. Whether Julian is a version of a kind of Elon Musk character or some other form of
megalomaniac.
Yeah, I was thinking megalomaniac.
Megalodon.
Megalomania. Sorry, I really have not been drinking. It seems like, in the hands of somebody like that, we are in deep, deep trouble.
It's more about your character. I mean, mine's kind
It's
of...
all about
It's all
my
about you.
character.
Julian's more like a move fast, break things, and then you're sort of saying, hey, we got to be smart about this and make sure everything is all put in place.
Yeah, but I'm also just thinking about the company and the fact that we've, I think it's quite selfish. And I've spent the last 10 years building the family company up to a very profitable place, and you are on the verge of burning it to the ground.
No pressure.
It's definitely a moving target. that's for sure. And it changed, so much since we started doing this movie. Like, I came on board about 3 years ago. Jared, you've been on, pushing this boulder up the hill for...
I mean, it really started 2014.
Yeah, and AI wasn't obviously it's always been there in some capacity, but now it's part of our everyday tech. But that said, for me, it's the movie is not... It's a big part of the subject matter, obviously, the AI of it all, I think. But what I'm interested in telling is Ares' journey and what it takes to be human and what it means to be human.
Period.
I blanked on the rest of my answer.
Great. That was like a Christopher Walken delivery. AI. Then that's it, TRON Ares.
We were really lucky that we got to consult with some actual experts and pioneers in the field. Dr. Fei Li, she is in the movie. She is the grandmother of AI. She created ImageNet. I was really inspired, actually, by her perspective and the perspective shared by some of our colleagues, this idea of the human element of all this and really advocating for a human-centric AI. And that really inspired us in terms of some of the themes of the movie and also Eve Kim herself.
How did that help you develop kind of Eve's choices on screen?
I always try to remember that she's a human being. Sure, she's brilliant. She's so much smarter than I actually am. She is at the top of her game. She is this brilliant programmer. She's the CEO of this massive tech company. And also, she is mourning the loss of her sister. She is incredibly tough and analytical and also vulnerable and very human. So all of those things were essential in thinking about who she is in this movie.
What are you?
Over the course of the movie, fans track your journey to really understand what it means to be human. And as an actor, there are some subtle transformations that happen on screen. Can you talk a little bit about how you thought through some of those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted this to be quite a minimal performance. I thought that was really important given the efficiency that this being must have. It was really fun because we got to think about this big question: what does it mean to be alive? What's the first kiss like? What's it like if you might cry for the first time? What's your first ice cream like if you eat it too fast? a Sour Patch Kid. What else we talk about? Twinkie. You know, what are the things you might experience?
We shot some of those.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, a lot on the cutting room floor.
Evan, you know a thing or two about playing villains.
Right.
What was the most exhilarating thing about playing this particular villain, Julian Dillinger?
Well, it was an honor to be in the Tron world for sure. I'm a big fan of the previous movies. And, you know, this is a very ambitious character who's trying to succeed and get his mom's approval and take the company to the next level. So the stakes are incredibly high, and the sets prove that because they're gigantic, and it sort of takes you into this world that just elevates it and gives it a lot of pressure. So it feels like a pressure cooker. That I was very excited to experiment with and play around with, and Joachim was great to do that with.
Without giving anything away, what is Julian's fatal flaw?
Hubris? Ambition? Hubris? Thank you.
If he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
As an actor, did you get to do things in this role that you've never been able to do before?
Yes. How much time do we have?
Give it to me.
So many things. I mean, I've never done sci-fi. I'd never done action. I'd never done stunts, at least not in this capacity. I've never run so much before in my whole life. I mean, it really has changed the way I read scripts now. When I see, I'm like, okay, running for your life. How many times am I doing that? It pushed the limits for me of what I thought I was capable of. And I'm really proud that I survived to tell the tale, that I'm sitting here and I made it. It was, incredibly challenging. There are things like I was dropped from a building.
Right.
Hooked onto a wire. And the first time I did it, we realized I couldn't do it without screaming, but screaming in a way that wasn't gonna be appropriate for the movie. I really got to do things I never imagined I'd ever do.
My world is coming to destroy yours.
Talk to me a little bit about Joachim as a director.
I'm a Tron super fan. Okay, I went to the movie in 1982, changed my life, fell in love, been a lifelong fan of Jeff Bridges, so got to work with one of my heroes, got to work with Joachim as well, who is an incredible partner in crime, and really helped, paid tribute to the past, but put his own stamp on it and gave us all like a big, fun, giant, ambitious film with lots of size and scope.
It was so clear that he knew exactly what he was doing. And you could tell that he was a master and that he was able to hold the emotional trajectories of the characters at the same time as holding the 1,000,001 questions and answers they have to deal with on a daily basis. And I'm always amazed with the scale of films like this where directors even begin. But at the same time, he was really good at directing on the detail and the performance as well. And that's not always the case with, these big films.
How did we settle on how Ares looks?
That's a very long process. Absolutely, because again, we have so much respect for the universe that we are in, and we want to get it right. And designing the light lines on his suit, just for instance, is like, okay, we want to honor Sid Mead, the original designer. We want to honor Tron Legacy, Kosinski's movie, and then at the same time take it to the next level. And that was a thought process that went through everything that we did.
The thing that was really fun to get involved with in a deeper way too was the design of this suit that was more formidable, that had armor, that was more tactile, and not just kind of what Tron was known for in the past, which is more a sleek and kind of bodycon or like spandex with technology in it. That was interesting to do. And with Tron, there are a billion choices and hundreds of millions of decisions. It's not just like what pair of Levi's do you want to wear in a scene? So a lot to think about. And it was really fun to be a part of the process.
Burning Man?
No, it's temperature controlled.
Now, you circled this role during the awards press tours for Past Lives.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that memorable time in your life, especially sharing Mindspace with Nora and Eve at the same time? What was that like?
I know. Pretty wild. Yeah. I mean, those two movies could not be more different, arguably. But yeah, I try to think about the character. Like, on some level, and maybe this only makes sense to me, but Nora isn't so different from Eve. It's that thing about like a normal person and like having to step out of what you thought you were capable of the person you thought you were in an unexpected way, in an unexpected moment of your life. I find that really fascinating for both people. I feel incredibly lucky that I get to play in both genres, both worlds, both scales. It's thrilling for me, genuinely.
Greta, if we go to your IMDb page, you were a master of all genres. Okay, so in addition to Eve and Nora, right, you've got comedy credits here. We have Stella on The Morning Show, Maxine on Russian Doll. Of all these iconic characters that you've played in recent years, which one is most Greta?
Oh my God, the most me. Oh, you know, there's a character that audiences haven't seen yet. Her name's Gloria Gardner in this movie, Late Fame, that I got to do with Willem Dafoe. And that character is really personal to me. I think on the surface, people wouldn't recognize me as her. There are a lot of wigs and things like that. But that movie is really special to me and is talking about artistry and what it's like to be an artist and to be in pursuit of this thing that can provide a great sense of purpose in someone's life, but doesn't come without its own complications and challenges.
So it sounds like the Greta part is just the pursuit of artistry, is that it?
Yeah, it's the thing that drives me to go from a past lives to a Tron. And it's hard to explain in words. Like, I am searching for something and I don't know exactly what it is, and that's part of it for me. The great mystery of it. But I'm so grateful because without it, I don't know how I would do this. I don't know where I would be. That's the thing that keeps me running and makes me want to be dropped from the top of a building, apparently.
So, are you an artist too?
Now, what's common between the two of you is that you both cracked the top 5 of Star Meter for the very first time in your careers for roles and titles that featured the letter X. For Scully on The X-Files and Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past. What is the question you get most from fans about those characters?
What question do I get the most? I guess, will we ever see you again? Will you ever come back? And I have no answer for that. I would love to come back and do Quicksilver again. I think it was such a fun character and there's a lot more to explore. And I always sort of played it as like a little guest spot. You know, he pops in and he pops out, and that's kind of what it was. So I'm always curious to see what it would really be like to explore that character in the backstory. The visual effects and what they were able to do with that was mind-blowing. I still can't believe I was able to be behind the scenes of that. It was really, really cool.
I mean, it's the same, it's always the same, which is that, is there ever going to be another season? And if there was, would you come back again? Yeah, I can't think of any other question other than that. Did Mulder and Scully sleep together?
That's kind of what I was wondering.
Is that what you?
That's what I'm always wondering.
Yeah. I mean, there was William, but it was kind of immaculate conception. Anyway.
I'm pregnant. I'm having a hard time explaining it.
So thanks to you in the studio, more fans than ever before know what the term oneer is.
Yeah.
What do you love most about that episode? What did Seth do to convince you to play such a pivotal part? Did you get a private jet for this press tour?
No comment.
Maybe we could take a jet, like that could be fun.
I loved everything about that gig. I think I had 2 days in between filming where it was possible for me to get to do that. It's a total dream team. We had Seth, we had Sarah Polley, who I find incredibly funny. Everything she did and said, we were breaking laughing. Every single time she yells F, the F-bomb, we all died. I don't think I've ever seen Seth laugh so much. It was so fun.
Hope we can see you in season 2.
Mm-hmm.